that shall come at our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests we commit into our charge. Amen.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Come later.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Leader of the majority.
Yes, thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, April the 7th, 2022. Number 1, the budget estimates for the financial year 2022-23 from the National Treasury that includes the following. 1, financial year 2022-2023 program-based budget. Number 2, financial year 2022-23 estimates of recurrent expenditure, volumes 1 and 2. Number C, financial year 2022-2023 estimates of development expenditure, being volumes 1, 2, and 3. And D, financial year 2022-2023 list of projects. But E, the budget summary for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Number F, the estimates of revenue, grants, and loans for the financial year 2022-2023 budget. And G, the financial statements for the financial year 2022-2023 budget. Number 2 is the estimates of recurrent and development expenditure of Parliament for the financial year 2022-2023 and projection for the financial year 2023-2024 to 2025 by the Parliamentary Service Commission. And lastly, the budget estimates for the judiciary by the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary were laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, February the 1st, 2022. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the papers.
The Chairman, Committee on Delegated Legislation, Honorable Kamket.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, April 7, 2022. Report of the Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration of the traffic, driving schools, driving instructors, and driving licenses rules 2020, legal notice number 28 of 2020. I thank you.
Very well. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
First segment on questions. First question is by the member for Mwaya, the Honorable Omboko Milemba.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to ask question number 103 of 2022 to the Cabinet Secretary for Transport, Infrastructure, Housing, Urban Development, and Public Works. Number 1, what urgent measures has the ministry put in place to ensure that the Busioya Mungoe Road in Ipali location and the Bukoro kwa Chief Rabor Road at the Bukoro Railway Crossing and Asikote, Muraka, Mwichehe Road at Asikote Railway Crossing in the Muhaya constituency are improved to motorable standards, considering that the 3 feeder roads were blocked during the recent renovation and construction of the Kisumu-Buterwe railway line. Number 2, Honorable Speaker, when will the ministry provide suitable railway crossings at Ebukolo, Ebsioya, and Asikote areas in the Muhaya constituency to allow free movement of people and goods, considering that major economic activities take place around these areas, and in particular, Luanda Town? And thirdly, Honorable Speaker, could the Cabinet Secretary consider employing local residents, particularly youths from the Ebsiekwe area in the Muhaya constituency during construction, maintenance, and other works with respect to railway line? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Question will be replied to before the Departmental Committee on Transport, Public Works and Housing. The next question is by the member for Mwatate, member Mwadime.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I raised to ask question 104 of 2022 to the Cabinet Secretary for Energy. Subsection 1. Could the Cabinet Secretary provide details on the status of electricity connectivity, if any, to public schools, health facilities, households, and other public utilities in Mwatate constituency? Subsection 2. What measures the ministry has put in place to ensure that all public schools, health facilities, households, and other public utilities in Mwatate constituency are connected to the national grid? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The question will be replied to before the before the Committee on Energy, Departmental Committee on Energy. The last question is by the member for Kinango, the Honorable Benjamin Dalu Tayari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask question 105 of 2022, directed to the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and Coordination of National Government. Roman 1, could the Cabinet Secretary state and indicate when public participation will be undertaken with regard to boundaries of the newly created Samburu and Kinango sub-counties in Kinango constituency in Kwale County? Roman 2, could the Cabinet Secretary explain why the newly gazetted Samburu sub-county was not designated as a recruitment center in the just concluded 2022 police recruitment exercise? Roman 3, what measures is the ministry taking to ensure that the said administrative unit is adequately staffed, including ensuring that administrators are recruited to facilitate service delivery? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well.